Imagine you are a good student and you have done MBA. You get a job in a very good startup. You want to give your best there. There you go, you do very good work. Your boss is happy with you. You get promoted within 2 or 3 years. But now you are not happy with yourself. You don't like meetings there. You don't like giving presentations there. You don't like office politics, that too. And now you think, man, I should do something else. Then you remember that recently you went to the mountains. There you saw the owner of a restaurant, small restaurant, cute in the mountains. The restaurant owner there was very happy with his life. Meet a lot of new people in a small space. He would create new dishes of his choice, give them new names, serve them to people, and then he would close his restaurant at 7 or 8 p.m. and then spend time with his family. You feel like that's all you have to do. You want to leave your HR job. You want to move away from all this politics, and you actually do the same. You also buy a small place at a tourist place in the mountains on a 3-year lease. What will be the color of his paint? What will the furniture be like? You decide every single thing, and finally the day comes when you open that restaurant to the world. That feeling which you wanted to get, today that day has come. You serve dishes to people. People also praise your dish. Many foreigners come there. You talk to them. You ask them about their country, and you feel that now your dream is coming true. But after 5 to 6 days, this feeling starts changing, because now you are also cleaning there. The young staff guy you hired is no longer coming to work because he was in a relationship. And because now he has a breakup, he is not interested in work. And this happens not just once, but with almost every staff member. Some are going through a breakup, and some are getting a good job. Now you yourself have to bring goods from the market. You are the one opening the restaurant. You are the last person who is closing his restaurant, and now you are wondering what kind of life I am living. I had a better life in my job where people respected me. Here, many customers even abuse it if the food is not good. And now you are stuck in this situation. You're stuck. But the question comes that if we are stuck in any situation, then how do we get out of it? And that's why Stanford Professor Bill Burnett has written this book, Designing Your Life. This is a course which is taught in Stanford, and all the learnings of the 50-year-old designing team who designed this course are explained in this course in this book. And from that today, we will read 5 concepts on how we can reinvent ourselves, how to break yourself and build yourself well again. The first concept of which is called prototyping. In this concept, Bill Burnett says that as a designer, when we are designing our life, first we have to test it with very small risks. For example, in this restaurant case, you could have done 3 things before leaving your job. The first thing that comes to prototyping is conversion. That is, in the case of this restaurant, instead of actually opening your entire restaurant, you could have gone to that restaurant owner and told him that I want to open a restaurant. Now tell me, what other variables are there in this? Because from my perspective, you seem very happy. Are you actually happy? What are the challenges that you face and that I too can face in the beginning? The second method of prototyping life is job shadowing. If you want to extract more data from that restaurant owner, then you will have to actually live with him for a week. You could stay somewhere near his restaurant for a week and tell him that, I want to work for you for free for a week. I want to see when you wake up and what work you do. Do I really like what I am understanding, or is the data I have insufficient? And before jumping into the decision of actually building a restaurant, the only thing we could do is prototype it and test it for a short amount of time. For example, you could test that idea for 4 or 5 months. There was no need to take the restaurant on lease for 3 years. Now, this theory is designing your life. In this, the step of prototyping is important because this theory says that we are driven by values. We do not have such a big grand vision in life that we are made for only one thing. There can be multiple things that we like, and whether we like it or not, we come to know only after actually doing it. First, we cannot predict it. If we have understood the concept of prototyping, then the next important concept comes, which is reframing. There was a boy whose name was James. Ever since he was in NCC, he had only one dream since childhood, that he had to go to the Great Canyon with his family, that too on a mule. When he grew up, he got married and had 2 children. He still had that dream in his mind that he was going to the Grand Canyon on a mule with his wife and 2 children. Slowly looking at all those areas, enjoying it. The red cliffs in front are shining and their laughter is echoing in the air. This memory was in his mind. But in real life, after marriage, the situation became different. If he was to actually go into the Grand Canyon, his weight should be less than 90 kilograms. But he had become fat. His weight now was 105 kilograms. Every year he tries to lose weight. Once he brought his weight up to 90 kilograms. But when he did this weight, he was on an empty stomach and was not wearing any clothes. When he actually applied again to Great Canyon, his weight came above 90 kilograms and his application was again rejected. This thing continued for 5 years. Every time his children's school had summer holidays, he thought that maybe this time we would go to the Grand Canyon. But this plan was again rejected. Jamesel was so stubborn that he did not even want to go anywhere other than the Grand Canyon. As these 5 years passed, more responsibilities started coming upon him. His children were now growing up. They no longer wanted to spend that much time with him. And ultimately, this plan never became successful. This is the real story of John, who was so determined to go to the Grand Canyon that he did not take his family anywhere else. And the worst part is that he had to go to the Grand Canyon on a mule. Whereas there were other options also. He could have gone in a helicopter, but because he had made a contract with his mind that he would cover the Great Canyon only through a mule, so he will not get that feeling which he had imagined since childhood. Whereas he could have reframed that entire situation. His goal was to travel with his family. If there was a Great Canyon, then that exact feeling could have come in another way as well. But he lost the window of opportunity to hang out with his children just because his mind was stuck. He could not ask himself the right question, which was, what do I actually want to feel? What exactly do I have to do that will make me happy? If he had asked himself just one question differently, he would not have wasted 5 years of his life. Almost exactly the same situation happened with sociology professor Malini, who wanted to create a social innovation institute and had decided in her mind that she needed funding of $15 million. She goes to new institutes again and again. She tells them to give me funding. I want to build a school. But even getting $15 million funding was not easy. Suddenly, she got in touch with the author and reframed her situation. Her main objective was that she wanted to create an impact in the lives of students, and that did not necessarily mean $15 million in funding. And as soon as she reframed the situation, she started taking the right steps. She recruited some volunteer students to build the type of classrooms she wanted inside the buildings. She made the exact same classrooms out of tents. She did proper ventilation inside those tent rooms and taught the children exactly the subjects she wanted to teach. In short, whenever you feel that I am stuck, how do I reinvent myself? So always reframe your perspective. The next tool to design your life is the Good Time Journal. Michael was the person everyone liked in school. That cool, sporty, chilled-out guy whose life was flowing very easily. Everyone used to think after seeing him, I wish my life was like this. He never felt like taking any major decision in life because there was never a need. Everything was decided by his mother. Which school to go to, which college to go to, even which engineering course to do. And Michael just followed his mother's advice. After college, he also made a very beautiful girlfriend, Skylar, with whom he moved to Amsterdam. There he got a good job and also got married to his girlfriend. Looking at everyone from outside, it seemed that perhaps God had taken Michael's life in a leisurely manner. But for the first time, Michael was feeling something different from inside. He was feeling very sad. He was not burnt out. He didn't even have any workload. He was just sad, and the worst thing is that he didn't even know why he was sad. Whenever he discussed this thing with his friends or family members, everyone would give their opinion. You are so intelligent. Open your own firm. Try MBA. Try something in finance. But Michael had no answer. Finally, he found Professor Burnett of Stanford, and he gave Michael a magical tool called the Good Time Journal. Burnett told Michael that all he had to do was fill out this journal for the next week. Mark how you feel after each thing you do during the day. After doing that work, do you feel that you are getting more energy? Or after doing that work, you feel that I am tired? This thing is sucking my energy. When Michael filled this journal for a week, magic happened because he got the data. He noticed from that pattern that whenever he was solving a difficult, complex technical problem, he was very happy. But when meetings, proposal writing, all this happens, he does not like it at all, and then he gets the solution. He just has to do what he likes, and his answer was very clear. He will do a PhD because that is where his brain will be spent. He will solve high-level structure problems, And the best part is that he will not have to do any useless office meetings or proposal writing. And as soon as he started his PhD, he used to feel so much energy even after working 10 to 12 hours every day, as if you are back in school again. Our learning from this short story is that it is not necessary that we need a new life. Sometimes we just need better data. The Good Time Journal helps us find that way. That is, it tells us what is giving us energy and what is sucking our energy. Whatever things are sucking our energy, we have to remove them from our life. Our next point comes, start where you are. Imagine you have got a job in Apple, and that too is not a small position. You are the top product manager there. You work with brilliant minds. Every decision you make moves Apple's numbers. Many people are approaching you on LinkedIn. Everyone wants you to work in their company, and then you leave everything. Not because you failed or you were fired from your job, just because you have 2 children and you have to take care of them. This is the real story of Debbie, who was in a high position in Apple. The one who left his job, and after leaving the job, there was a hollowness inside her. Now she no longer had people to tell her what the next step should be. She felt as if his life had now become meaningless. She works for hours every day to take care of her children, but does not get any salary. She will not get any promotion even after doing amazing work. When Debbie met Burnett, Burnett gave her another amazing tool, and this tool was the Health, Work, Play, Love dashboard, which looks something like this. When Debbie broke her life in these 4 categories and filled each category, she came to know that man she was working. Northering your family, giving your new children a best operationality. This is all work, and it is not meaningless work. This is a work that may probably create more impact than is Apple's job. And then as soon as she gave her life a new attitude, she started feeling very happy herself because Debbie changed her work defense. Her career may have been paused, but the contribution never stopped. Our learning from this story is that as soon as we use this tool, we can give a new meaning to our life. If we are weak in an area, then in that area we can contribute more hours like a designer. Next point says failure immunity. And this is the story of Reed. The Reed School did not have a successful kid. From 5th class to 12th class, he tried 13 times for school elements and lost 13 times. If the maximum child loses 2 or 3 times, then they do not try. Reed would come back every time. Every time he would put his name on the ballot. Every time I used to win, this time I will win. Not because he liked to lose, but because his mindset was shifting with each attitude. He used to have less pain when he lost. The courage kept growing, and the most important, he used to learn something new every time. And as soon as the new year came, Reed again applied for the class president, and this time he won. He did not give up in school, but then read 25 years old. He became a graduate from the 4th League. He was starting his life in the corporate world. During a business trip, he felt that there was some swelling in the neck. He went to the clinic. His life changed in a second. When the doctor told him that he had cancer, his parents, his family were feeling sad for him. Reed also did not give up on his death. This was the same boy who had tried 13 times, and he also took cancer as a campaign. Radiation, surgery, chemotherapy, all performed. But never allow yourself to become a patient. He finally defeated cancer. After defeating cancer, he took a 1-year break and then came back to the career world to get his dream job, and that was NFL team. But this time too, he was rejected. But he did not stop again. In his free time, he used to make sports analysis models, connected with the industry. Every time he tried, and the final NFL team called him back, this time for a bigger role than that. Our learning from this short story is that failure immunity does not mean that we will never fail. This means that no failure can define us. Life is an infinite game. No rule says that we have to be successful till 25, or we should have such a salary till 30. This game will continue till we give up.